Target had a really good first quarter, much better than most people expected. And I think that it really is a reflection that some of the tactics they're putting in place as part of their turnaround are taking hold and that consumers are responding. But as you kind of sort of implied in your introduction, they really didn't nudge much with regards to their guidance in response to a strong fiscal first quarter. And so I think people are looking at that as a very conservative outlook for the rest of the year.
The comp sales for the quarter that ended was pretty eye-opening, up 5.6%. That was the biggest increase since the end of 2021 and also 3 times the average analyst estimate. Is this more than just easy comparisons?
Well, in part, Scarlett, it's easy comparisons, but we also had other things like the tax refund season. There were some good tax refunds out there that people were spending. There were a few of those sort of tailwinds. And so when you strip that out, it's really about, how much of this is sustainable going forward. And because the company didn't really adjust much of their guidance for the balance of the year, it really implies that pace of same-store sales is going to drop way off starting in second quarter. Still positive, but in the very, very low single-digit range.
Right. Could this be a case of Target managing expectations to lower the bar so much that it becomes an easy beat later on?
I think that it's not necessarily trying to really underestimate, but I think there is a level of conservatism there. And that's just really based out of the track record that they've had. When they go too soon in raising guidance, they get held with their feet to the fire. And then if they, for some reason, don't meet that, the stock gets hit even harder. And so I think that there's that level of prudence in there of saying it's only one quarter, there's 4 quarters in a year, 3 more to go. Let's see where we go. Now, if we get to second quarter and they have strong results and they don't make an adjustment, then I would say that they're definitely sort of under promising so they can over deliver.
Talk to us about this, the turnaround. What is Target trying to do, and are they making any headway there?
Yeah, so a lot of the issues with Target, they sort of lost their way with what they used to deliver in that sense of like Target and the joy and the discovery. And so they're going back into sort of key topics and key categories where they think that they can be differentiated. So things like baby, things like beauty, areas of health and wellness where they think that they can have a competitive advantage and bring people back into stores. So they've been changing their assortment, changing what's in the stores. And at the same time, I think what's maybe underappreciated is the amount of work they've done with their back house operations in terms of supply chain to really improve availability of products in the stores. There's nothing worse than a bad experience when you go in looking for something and it just isn't even there. So those are the kinds of like small wins that Target is starting to see that are helping to build a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, the comparison between Target and Walmart always seemed to be that Target appealed to the aspirational shopper in a way that Walmart hadn't quite mastered. Have those roles reversed? I mean, Walmart, we keep hearing about how there's a lot of customers trading down to Walmart now.
Yeah, I would say Walmart has definitely invested in recent years in categories where Target had always been a leader. Apparel is a really good example of that. So, Walmart has gone from being content of just being a fashion basics, where you go to buy your socks and your underwear, to being a little bit more fashion forward. And they have seen their apparel sales improving. So there's definitely more competition for Target in areas where they used to have a historical advantage. But we'll see whether this new refresh is going to be enough to overcome anything that they've lost.
Jen, you talk to a lot of these retail companies. What are they saying about the inflation we're seeing out there in the economy, particularly at the gas pump?
Yeah, it's a great question, Paul. And there are some reports out there that say that we haven't seen consumers have a huge reaction yet to the higher gas prices. When we look back historically, it's usually when gas prices are at a high level for a sustained period of time that you start to see consumer behavior shift. And that shift really takes place into going fewer stops, fewer retailers, maximizing your trips, that sort of thing. It's still a little early to see that much of a consumer reaction to high gas prices, which is why we haven't really seen that flow through in results yet. But the longer gas prices stay higher, the more that actually is an advantage to companies like Walmart and Target that have that broad assortment where people can make one stop and shop in multiple categories.